So hello guys, and welcome to another video. And just a few days ago, Mario & Luigi Brothership unfortunately leaked, and that's definitely bad news for someone like me who does not want to be spoiled, who is a huge Mario RPG fan and wants to experience this game mostly blindly. But there are a couple good things that came out of this game leaking. I mean, it shouldn't have been leaked in the first place, don't get me wrong, but I'm glad we finally have the information that we've been wanting about the developers of this game, and the composer, and a few other things. While one of these is a little disappointing, some of the other things we've found out are pretty exciting, I would say. And the biggest question regarding this game was who was developing it. A lot of people were speculating Ilka because a lot of former AlphaDream devs moved over to Ilka after AlphaDream shut down, but to a lot of people's surprise, this was actually co-developed by Acquire, which is pretty interesting. If you haven't heard of them before, the previously developed Octopath Traveler, which is actually a pretty popular RPG, since it was originally a timed exclusive on the Switch. And I think that's probably why they chose them. They probably were working with them in the past because of Octopath Traveler. I might be wrong, there might be other reasons behind it, but I feel like that is like a plausible reason why. And I think it's good that Nintendo chose that company, because they do have a history with RPGs and things, like I mentioned with Octopath Traveler, which is a very well-received series for the most part. So I think that's pretty cool that we are having a developer that has worked on RPGs before. I think that's definitely reassuring. I know if it was developed by Ilka, I don't think it really would have made that much of a difference, because the problem with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl was more of how things were managed rather than the developers of Ilka themselves. So I feel like the only thing we've kind of the only bullet we dodged by this game not being developed by Ilka is the inevitable backlash that it would have received if Ilka was working on it from a lot of Nintendo fans who were burned by BDSP. So, yeah. And another interesting thing is that Nintendo EPD2 had very little involvement in this. I think that's usually the case, since Nintendo EPD2 is usually like the ones that kind of like oversee projects being developed by like other companies and things. So I guess this was expected. So yeah. And moving on, we also saw that there are multiple former AlphaDream devs that were credited here, and some of them are for pretty interesting roles too. A lot of them that kind of make sense. Like the lead game designer, the field designer, and battle designers worked on previous Mario & Luigi games. The lead game designer was actually the director of the Mario & Luigi games from Paper Jam onwards, including the remakes, which I thought was pretty interesting. But there were some uncredited roles here. I don't believe they mentioned the writers or the character designers. I think that's pretty interesting. They did mention the artists, but I don't know. There might have been some like former AlphaDream employees that were involved with the character design. I'm just not sure about that yet. But we'll have to see going forward, because there likely will be some more information revealed in inevitable interviews coming up with, like, Ask the Developer from Nintendo directly. But we'll have to see. But the next thing is the composer, which is another thing that a lot of people have been looking forward to hear about. But unfortunately, it wasn't composed by Yoko Shimomura. And it was actually composed by a new composer, Hideki Sakamoto. He previously composed for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon in the Yakuza series, and he even composed Lifelight for Smash Ultimate. And the funny thing about that is that he composed multiple songs for Smash Ultimate, and that game was also had some tracks that were composed by Yoko Shimomura, which I think is a funny coincidence there. And even though it is kind of disappointing, I do think it is a little understandable. I don't think it's like the fact that the music doesn't really sound like her style. I still feel like this music is still heavily inspired by Shimomura's works. Like, it does still feel very Mario & Luigi-esque, and I feel like the new composer is doing a great job at capturing that feeling. I think it's more of the fact that she was busy with composing for Kingdom Hearts 4, and she already recently composed for 2 Mario RPGs, with the Mario RPG Remake and Mario + Rabbids Sparks of Hope for part of that soundtrack. So I feel like it might have been quite a lot for her to also compose for Brothership. And then on top of that, she's working on quite a lot of other projects as well for like other games from other companies. So I'm like, even though it's a little disappointing, I'm still okay with a new composer here, because I feel like Hideki Sakamoto is doing an amazing job so far. Like I said, all the music fits the series really well. It just sounds pretty good overall. And moving on, we also found out that it was made using Unreal Engine. And this is another thing that's like not too surprising, since multiple Nintendo games recently that were either co-developed or outsourced, kind of like Peach Showtime, Yoshi's Crafted World, and Pikmin 4 used it. So I think that's definitely expected for like a lot of Nintendo published games made by like other companies or second party developers to use Unreal Engine, because I feel like it's definitely kind of been working out for them. So I think that definitely makes a lot of sense there. It looks very good, and I feel like they're utilizing it pretty well. So yeah. But anyways, I think this news has been pretty good. I definitely have a lot of confidence that this game is going to be great. Like, due to the developer behind it, the fact that some AlphaDream devs are returning, and the composer also has great credentials as well, despite the fact that it's not Yoko Shimomura. But yeah, I feel like this game has been in development since shortly after AlphaDream shut down, due to like the AlphaDream devs that were credited here, and like various things that we've kind of seen about this. And with the AlphaDream devs that are involved with this, there's a possibility that they either moved to acquire or were brought on as freelancers. I'm not quite sure, because like some of the other companies that some AlphaDream devs were like moving to weren't credited, like Ilka and things, so I'm not sure. Maybe they moved, or I don't know. We'll have to see more in the future. But it's also very exciting that we have a new developer for the Mario & Luigi series. I think that's great. Like, we were all speculating for quite a while, like, who would take over AlphaDream for the new Mario & Luigi dev, and we finally have that answer. It's Acquire, and they seem to be doing a great job at it so far, especially with the AlphaDream devs involved. So yeah, I am really excited about this game. It's definitely my most wanted game right now, but I'm gonna have to be careful avoiding spoilers and everything. And one more thing, I was talking quite a lot about like the AlphaDream developers and things, and if you want to see more information about that type of content, about what happened to AlphaDream and where the devs went, I definitely recommend checking out Lizardy's channel. He was actually on the channel before for a previous Mario & Luigi Brothership video, but he has a lot of great content about that stuff, so I definitely recommend checking it out. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Twitter if you want to. Goodbye.